1, 2, 3, 4. 28. 1 year of Travato ownership, 30,000 miles, 28 states, one amazing year. Today I share with you 17 recommendations. Thanks for tuning in today. My name is Scott. I am your host. Welcome to Go Small, Live Large. We are a YouTube channel and a growing family of people that are interested in the places we visit in the Travato RV lifestyle, working as a digital nomad, full-time corporate job, and the people we meet along the way. If you get anything out of this video, I sure would appreciate a thumb up. That helps others find the channel, find the information. And if you have a comment or a question, please shoot that over. So here are my 17 recommendations in no particular order, but these are the things that I have found to be invaluable in my 1 year with my Travato, which since February 2019, that's been full-time in this rig, living and working, 21-foot camper van. Not very many square feet, but a tremendous amount of experiences that are just absolutely priceless. Let's get into it. Is replace your air conditioner if you don't have an NDQ, non-ducted quiet air conditioner unit. This one has the Bluetooth module with an app, so I can control my air conditioner. If you have one of these that don't come with the NDQ, my recommendation is to get that bad boy replaced. Much quieter, much more efficient, and did I say it has an app? You can control it from bed. Nice. Second thing I would replace is this. Winnebago needs to step up here. This fan sucks in air from the outside, which it's doing right now, so it acts like a ceiling fan, and it also can exhaust out. The one that comes standard exhausts out only. I think Winnebago needs to step up and put these in as standard to put the air coming in or going out as a matter of fact from this switch. Hey Luke, what's up? Luke? Luke? Yes. The other thing I would do is change out the tires. These tires are much better. I feel much more confident with them. These are BF Goodrich. They come on the National Park Edition Travato and they come on the Revel. These are wheels that are not custom, but they're customized. I got the setup from Tire Rack in Indiana. Works out beautifully. Much prefer these tires. A little bit of road noise, but I just feel way more confident in these, in their grip, their bite, their aggressive tread to pull things through. And just really, whoops, leaves, just really like that. So I would recommend taking a serious look at tires and wheels. You may say it's a little bit of a vanity since this isn't four-wheel drive, but I do appreciate those, which gets into a little bit of the coloring style here. So I opted for the full body paint, which means everything, including the bumpers, were painted silver. I paid extra to have the them painted silver, and then actually spent money to get them blacked out. I think it looks a lot better. I wish I didn't get the full body paint, and frankly I can't remember if this blacked out thing comes with the full body paint. I think that too is an option. I wish I did not have that. I think it makes the rig look bigger than it probably does, and a little less aggressive, a little more limousine style. I do like the reflection that it has, but kind of wish it didn't have it. Recommendation is to give really careful thought to the paint scheme. I'm really glad I have silver because the black would have been very hot, I think. Really like the silver. Winnebago has a couple options now. The Ram actually comes in lots of different colors, but Winnebago just makes a few available. So really think through your color scheme on the exterior. Follow my channel at all, you know my big pet peeve is take less stuff. My recommendation is to have a 60-day rule. If you haven't used it or touched it in 60 days, unless it's like a winter coat or an emergency traction type device, you probably don't need it, and really give that some thought. One example here is the big netting bag that hangs on the back underside of the bed, and I filled it full of clothes. Ran in here for 4 or 5 months, never even got into any of the clothes in there. Got rid of the clothes, got rid of the bag. This looks so much better. I would actually err on take it with you, but again, apply a 60-day rule, and worst case, if you don't take it with you and you find you need it, then you purchase what you need only. Too much stuff, 60-day rule. Travel light. It's the RV lifestyle. Come on now. One thing I've learned late in the game here is to really enjoy state and national parks more than I had before. The last couple of months I've been staying in them a lot. Much less expensive, probably half to a third the price of a traditional RV park. and the scenery is so much better. So a big lesson I learned, and my recommendation to you is, don't try to do everything, see everything on a stop. I was driving myself crazy trying to do all this touristy stuff in just a few days so I could keep moving, and it was driving me batty. So what I've learned to do is just understand I'm not going to do and see everything. If I'm passing through Utah, passing through Arizona, it doesn't mean I have to stop and see the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon's going to be there probably for my next go around the country. So not to panic, plan maybe a little more carefully. I like the freedom of going where I want, when I want, kind of creating my own route as I go, versus having a bunch of reservations where I have to be someplace. So I go with the flow, and I've learned to just slow down. That was some advice that Jerry Minchie gave to our full-time RVers, is just to slow down. Realize you're not going to do and see everything, and that's okay. It'll probably be there for the next time you come for a visit. Another piece of advice, this is kind of obvious, but the recommendation is to reset your expectations of what living or certainly using an RV would be as compared to a traditional house. It's just a different way to go, and so to have endless hot water, endless internet, huge TV, kickback, it's just a different way to go. So to reset your expectations, certainly when you're in your rig, will help reduce the amount of stress. That's been my experience. So try that, just to reset your expectations on what it is to enjoy the RV lifestyle. The recommendation here is to save water by using paper plates, paper cups, paper bowls, and I use compostable flatware. This saves a ton of water, because doing dishes when you only got 18 gallons, not very smart when you're trying to boondock. That would be my advice, to use the disposable stuff. Garbage is way more accessible than fresh water when you're hopping from harvest host to harvest host over the course of a week. Use paper. Right, if you're anything like me, you love music, but the Jensen stereo that comes with it, and these two little anemic speakers, and the subwoofer, which is right there, while great and convenient, doesn't sound nearly as good as a real stereo system. So I have actually set up a HomePod up front, Apple HomePod 1, Apple HomePod 2. What's amazing with those two is it completely fills the van with stereo sound, and I gotta tell you, they are really, really good sounding. Just my recommendation is, if you like music, figure out a better way to do it. I need to do a video on these HomePods because they connect to my wine guard, whole separate story. But if you like music, determine a solution that works for you and your needs within the space confines that you have, to get a full sound system with the richness and the richness of the sound that you love so much at home and in your car. You can have it in your RV as well. Owners, my recommendation is, because of the limited amount of fresh water, is to get some additional freshwater storage in your rig. I do it right here. It's 3 1-gallon jugs. So it adds about another, 15-20%, something like that, to the 18-gallon onboard capacity. And these fit just right behind the door. Just like that, so they're out of the way. What? And they fit snugly in there. And I use this for drinking, coffee, etc. first. So extend your water storage by getting some separate external water storage. So you RVers, new to or old timers alike, know that the importance of a RV departure checklist, and that is, make sure that your cabinets are locked, your fridge is locked, your fan is off, your heat is off. I have an RV departure checklist. It's on my website. You can download that PDF. I can't tell how many times I've driven off with something open and out comes the stuff. Not cool. You learn that lesson once. God forbid you forget to unplug from the outside and drive off. I've almost done that once or twice. So look at that checklist, and I go through it mentally, just like a flight checklist as an airline pilot would do, and I go through and literally touch each button to make sure things are off. Recommendation, get yourself an RV departure checklist. It's kind of a fun recommendation. That is to use command hooks for everything. This one holds, I think, 7.5 pounds, which is about the weight of my backpack. Love this. That's a new addition. and the mounting putty. So the mounting putty is right here, and that sits and holds stuff securely. All the posters, all the pictures I have in here are all with the mounting putty. Clearly, these are command hooks. Command hooks and mounting putty are absolutely your friend in an RV. Make sure you have a stash of those on board at all times. All right, this is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, but warning labels. My Winnebago Travato was filled with warning labels around everything. The doors, the electrical, fire alarms, the propane, just everything had a warning label on it. And I can't tell you, and I'm gonna secretly look at this lady's out here. Moving through the brush. You see this? This lady's been here. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. Warning label, warning label, warning label. And to me, it's just kind of silly to have your warning labels hanging out there. I don't know. Just makes it look like you haven't really fully bought in yet. More of a pet peeve, but my recommendation is read the warning label, heed its advice, and then peel it. So it makes your rig look more personal and homey versus a warning label for lawsuits. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed making that with you. To sum up, 1 year Travato, expectations absolutely over exceeded on every count. So few issues, such tremendous learning, such tremendous new experiences. 28 states, 30,000 miles, and we're just getting underway, in my opinion. You are amazing. Each and every one of you in the Go Small, Live Large family. Can't thank you enough. You are the reason I'm doing this. That's the reason I'm doing these videos, is I take this learning and I share it with you, and I take that so seriously. I know you probably got a million questions. Some of that is very subjective to the owner experience on your own. Share with me. That's what this is all about. And if you got something out of it, give it a thumb up. Let's a like. Let's others find it. And visit my website. You can see where my itinerary is next. We got a whole bunch of cool stuff coming up. Wi-Fi videos, water videos, more Embassy RV stuff. Tampa Super Show right around the corner in January. So stay tuned. I'm breathless. Until we see you again, I wish you to journey on. So if you've been keeping count, you know we're only up to 15. So where are the other 2? Well, I saved the best 2 for last because these were really big learnings for me, and I really want you to take heed on these 2 recommendations. The first one has to do with this. That's right. Here's my number 2 most important recommendation, and that is use more water when you flush. Number 2 in particular. Use the chemical to keep your tank happy. Use the level gauge cleaner to keep your tanks even more clean and the sensors working accurately. And use your Santee flush. Almost every time with the Santee flush, the fresh water goes in here. After you empty your black tank, rinse your tank thoroughly with the Santee flush until the gauge inside reads empty. After you dump your tank, run the Santee flush until this says E on black waste. Super important. Lesson I learned the hard way by not using enough water to flush number 2. It stacked up in the tank and I could not empty my tanks fully. I had to have a dealer, Winnebago Motorhomes, help me out there, educate me on that a little bit. And I am now using much more water and have had no issues because I use more water, I'm using my chemicals, and I'm using Santee flush when I empty my tank. Since then, 0 problems with the potty. All right, and my number 1 recommendation from my first year of travel is get Harvest Hosts membership, and in fact up it to include the golf membership as well. It's about $100 a year. Best investment I've made all year. I can't tell you how many times I've stayed in really awesome wineries, farms, museums, golf courses for $0. Maybe you have to go buy a bottle of wine or a beer or something like that, but basically free overnight stays by going to a business that is encouraging the RV lifestyle and takes me to places I would not have gone without stopping at a Harvest Host site. That is my #1 recommendation for the year for anybody RVing, wanting to do RVing, is to get a Harvest Host with a golf membership and start going. They have a route planning tool, so you can actually skip through a whole region staying at Harvest Hosts. So I hope you've enjoyed those 17 recommendations from my first year on the road. They are definitely subjective, ladies and gentlemen. They are definitely, from my experience, some will take those to heart, some won't, and that's okay. Others would have completely different recommendations, and that is okay too. All right. That was a lot of information to cover. Really appreciate you sticking through 2 different parts, doing a review, 1 year living and working in the Travato, the good, the bad, and these 17 recommendations, whether you're new to the RV lifestyle, you're experienced, or you're just kind of checking it out. A lot to go through. What I've done is type this up. You can download this document from my you can download this from my website, GoSmallLiveLarge.com, for free, and add this to your resource list. A lot of the resources, including the tires, the blackout information on the corners right here, all on that sheet. Just make it as easy as possible for you to go out and grab your freedom with your RV. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.